Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today we are going to do another Gwangjin bus run, however, using the same shortcut that I did the last time around. So let's get the bus. We have enough people here to fill up a Lilliput, so we should be doing just that. And thankfully the big part of the shortcut is just gonna be downhill, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And yeah, I got an upgraded Lilliput right here, which I don't know if I've ever shown you guys in this state. So we're going to be using the bus route Gwangjin Gapa, if I can show you the map part right here. Yeah, starting over here, going to Medium, going to Baiyang, and then coming back around here. You know what? Maybe I should try something. That's tempting. I don't know. I can do it like what we have right here, or I could come down the shortcut and then go around this way, connect back here, make a stop right there, and go right to Gapa. But I think I'll be doing this route, but still using the shortcut. But there isn't really anything that would get in the way of that. We can still just go to Medium after that, like as per usual. So let's fill up the bus here.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
I hope I can keep the comfort up, but I'm not entirely sure here. Let's go from here. So I think I showed you guys the bus before, but it's gone through a few changes. First up, there's a zebra pattern underneath everything else here, so that's where the black stripes came from. I don't know, it's a bit like a safari bus, and I felt like this would enhance the whole thing. I also redid the camo pattern on the bottom, which is now a bit more wild instead of being stretched out so far. So I kind of like that, and I also redid the all the stuff underneath here. So there used to be, both at the front and the back fender, there used to be some lights pointing downwards for the deckless bridges. And those have been replaced by underglow, since I can now change the color for that. So that should make it easier to see what's going on, and having the lights more directly near the wheels might make this whole ordeal a bit easier. But today, well, it's midday, so we're likely not gonna see anything we're likely not going to see the route go at night. And also we're not going to be using any of those bridges, so we won't see those either. So we're just gonna check out how the trip goes without all that stuff. But yeah, the lights that I have on here are actually functional. We have a lot of additional front lights to really light up the area. We have something attached to my interior light. So if I let people in or out of the bus at night, I can also light up the entrance. And the big light on the rear that's attached to the reverse light. Also a big additional third brake light, which is nice in my opinion. I've really grown to like using those. It's nice just sticking an LED strip to the back as an additional brake light, and yeah, I feel like it enhances the entire thing a bit. Okay, let's go into second gear. The terrain is a bit rough around here. Is this the point where I need to turn left already? Yeah, I think it is. I should also most likely report the trees here, because those are right next to the road, so it's actually pretty easy to tell that those are floating, even if you're not doing anything that might not be intended by the dev. Let's go through here. I have no real plan how to get this down in one piece, but we'll figure it out. Also didn't see the rock there. But I will make it to the next stop with a lot of time left over, where usually I arrive at the end of the on-time part at Medium. Okay, I think we need to go up here and then down the other side. Yeah, this is also kind of a little problem with the game, but it's been trying to sort out for a while. It's nowhere near as bad as in GTA, where basically you can take a... dieses Kreis in the rock. Where you can basically take a supercar up the side of the mountain and climb it, like a mountain goat. But yeah, still for a lot of the jobs, some of the vehicles that are really not intended to go off-road, I drove right onto the next rock there. Some of the vehicles that are not really meant to be used off-road still have potentially too good of an off-road capability. They've been trying to balance that with the mud shortcuts, and I don't know. I don't like the current way that works. I think I talked about that in the last episode already, so I won't bore you with a repeat on that. But yeah, that's likely part of the reason why the mud shortcuts are the way they are, and they also want to make sure that while some vehicles should be able to take advantage of them, that advantage shouldn't be too great, so that might be why they are a pain in the ass to begin with. But yeah, that part, coming down that side of the mountain, kind of fun. I know once Betty gets wind of it, it won't be staying in the game, I'm pretty certain of that, but that's also why I would like to use it while I can, because it's a fun exploit. It's also gonna be very profitable, because it cuts down the length of the journey by a significant amount. I was trying to evade the other guy and completely ran into that one. Yeah, that cost me a comfort point. That sucked. Made it down the mountain alright, but then immediately ran into traffic. Damn it. Although, to be clear, with how the grip works right now, the on-road part is a bit more dangerous in terms of keeping comfort level up. So we're gonna have to see how well I can get there to the end. But for the amount of work and time that I put into this, I think the payout will be worth it. Either way. But I would still like to at least keep the last remaining comfort point if I'm able to. We'll just have to see if that works out. Sharp turn coming up, gotta be careful. Slow is smooth, and smooth is gonna make me a whole lot more money if I don't fuck it up. But yeah, other notable exploits that I won't be showing. First up, there is a way to just get a whole lot of more people into a single bus and do the route with something much larger, which will net you a much higher profit. And it's kind of tempting partially for the challenge of it, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of exploits. What the fuck are you doing? Screw off. And the other one is just stacking high value items onto small vehicles to avoid having to deal with cargo scaling, and then just going into Gwangjin with those and making a whole lot of money with that, which is kind of fun in a way. I always like the option to stack stuff up like a really weirdly designed Jenga tower. But once again, I don't know, the amount of money you make is just too much. Ran into another rock there. But yeah, we are looking pretty good time-wise. And yeah, the other big option would be to, after climbing down the mountain, go the other direction, go around the south end of Gwangjin and come back to the lumber mill. The terrain has been roughened up a little bit, so it's not as smooth anymore as it used to be, but yeah, I don't know, it's also not something that I'm too fussed about. There should be a road there at some point, and I hope we'll eventually get it, because that would be a really nice and useful addition. But as it is right now, I mean, these kind of things should be fixed so that people cannot just exploit the hell out of the terrain. But ideally, in the places where we should logically have a road, we should get one. But I've been waiting on that particular road ever since the steel mill update came out. But who knows, maybe next time around it will be in here, or maybe they'll patch it in after the fact for this one. Yeah, I gotta be honest, while when it came to the close testing, I felt like the update when it came out of that was pretty good, while still having a few things that should be worked on. The stuff that actually got done after close testing, it's just... not enough stuff did happen in my opinion. I wouldn't have minded keeping it in close testing a bit longer, fixing some of the exploits, balancing bugs, and maybe adding that other road in. Plus also dealing with a few other bugs, like the stuff that I encountered when doing my big hauler comparison. But as it is right now, it's still a pretty good update. It's just that for the final version of this, I would have maybe hoped for something a bit more than this. But to be clear, I also don't know how much time they had between the between any reports coming in about exploits and the time they wanted to release this, so there may have not been enough time to take care of them. It might have not been worth delaying the entire update for that. I don't know. There's always gonna be a few factors that I'm not aware of. I can only give you guys my perspective on what I wish would have happened, but there might be some pretty good reasons on why they wanted to get this out at this point. I also feel like potentially with the public testing, there's a bigger chance that as long as that's going on, the community is gonna be a bit split. Some servers like TWL do the public testing stuff, so they get the beta branch thing. But anybody who wants to play on multiple servers for some reason, if they do a bit of server hopping, depending on what's active at the time, well, they're gonna have to choose between the public beta test servers and the ones that are still on the live branch. So with everything having the same version, it's now much easier to go from one to the other if you want to play on multiple things. Whereas before it was likely the case that a few people said, yeah, sorry, I'm on that version, either you update or we cannot play until that's all being finished. I certainly felt that way for me playing on Hokiyoshi's server. Got pretty used to downgrading and just rolling back the update, going back onto the main branch. But I like that it's not necessary anymore. So there's definitely an advantage to having everybody on the same version. So, gonna refuel in a moment. And apart from that, we should be good here. Yeah, we came into the medium bus stop way earlier than intended, or at least with a regular route, so this is going pretty well. Likely gonna be a bit of a shorter video, but what can you do? I always set out to do a particular thing. If I notice that it's taking way longer than what I want to put in a single video, I'll just put in the break somewhere in the middle, or what I expect to be the middle, and then I go for the next one. But yeah, if the task is done, then I don't really know if I should be doing anything else to pad things out here. I can show you guys my new rotator design. I recently overhauled a few things, like on my Golimas I used to have 4 LED things in the front grille, just so that it lights up red at night, but now that we have a double length one, I could replace 2 of them each with one of the longer ones, and it's looking just the same, freeing up a few slots here and there. So that's all pretty neat. I also gonna use the rotator again on Hoki server, and it's just, oh, it's such a great vehicle. I wish there was a better, more consistent demand for the crane on it. Right now, a lot of the uses for it is just as a wrecker with the underlift to the rear. The crane is something that's only required every now and again, but when you need it, oh my god, does it feel good to use. So yeah, maybe if I can squeeze in another episode with that thing, I would love to. I had something else in mind in combination with the Lomax. I think I talked about that before, but there's still a bug happening where randomly, if you attach a winch cable to a vehicle, it will just yeet towards you, as if the cable was under immense tension. So that right now doesn't really work for me. Just gonna drive over to Gapa, nice and careful, hopefully not losing the last remaining comfort point. And then from that point on we should be good here. Make a bit of money, see how much it is, and then go from there. I'll likely be returning to the server with this character, and I don't know when's the next time you're gonna see it. But yeah, since I'm in more need of money on this one, I might actually keep playing on this one during the videos. Depending on what's really supposed to happen, what I set out to do. We'll have to see. Maybe I should actually give one of my characters another character skin, so it's easier to tell them apart. Them looking the same likely isn't really helping the situation. But yeah, in the end they are both endgame characters to some degree. The main difference is my main character still has basically everything that is in the game, and this guy has everything he needs. I would still like a few more semi-trucks and that kind of thing. But we'll get around to that. Then again, semi-trucks right now, or at least the tractors, might be a bit overrated because we got the linkies. So if I really want to go for big hauls, taking other vehicles might be better now. Like for containers, just use the cooler container truck. Get another container on there. For pallets, use the Atlas, even though right now it feels pretty compromised with what it can load. But hopefully that will be taken care of. That was really a bummer finding out. I really wish they had the maximum possible capacity on the new trucks and trailers. That's really kind of annoying that it's just um, so much wasted space on them. Ah, keep going. You are not giving me a ticket. Like how he was just waiting there, like, what the fuck is that guy doing? Is he really trying to run away? Yes, I am. I'm indeed trying to run away. Even if it's made harder by not being able to skip through the bus stops. Although there is at least a card on the trailer now about making that a thing. So I hope that's getting worked on, because that would make these kind of things a lot better. Just having to touch the interaction box and not actually have to come to a stop for this to count as a bus stop. Overshot. Thankfully he didn't hit me. That might have killed my last comfort point. Did I not stop for long enough? Damn it. See, that's exactly what I don't like about these. Okay, the next one should be the final stop, and we are having to deal with the timer, so I'll be going on a little detour here. And hopefully also being able to evade the cop over there. Ah, there he is. Ah, he's trying to cut me off. Shit! Okay, folks, get ready to jump out of the bus. We are going to make a quick stop. Let's get already. I open the doors and you'll just have to fall out, basically. There, we made it here on time. See if we can get it before the cop shows up again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, just jump, jump, jump. And yeah, that's 182k base price, plus 54 on time bonus, plus 36 for comfort. That could have been double, that would have been 72,000. So that was close to 300k or something. Let's just check. Almost 200k from that. Yeah, plus 21k town bonus. There is a lot of money in this right now. So potential for around 300k. I don't know why they increased this so aggressively. I remember doing a bug report about this because something messed up during the testing and we got like 7k. This is definitely making up for that. But yeah, still a highly lucrative bus route. Which I'm happy about. I don't know if it needed any money increase, but it's there if you care for it. Which you should be doing. Yeah, I wanted to show you guys the rotator. Let's see if I don't have a parking lot over here. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm still scatterbrained. After everything that happened last year, I've been trying to get into therapy and it didn't really work out so far. Like in Germany, the whole stuff, and I don't want to go into too many details here because it's a topic. In Germany, it's usually that you get everything paid for because everybody is insured. But the system right now, it's slowly falling apart from the inside and the help doesn't really come easy anymore. So if you're already downtrodden and having to deal with issues, having to deal with a system is just gonna make everything much worse. Yeah, let's stop the bus. I would just like to despawn it here. And we are going to go over to the Golema. So yeah, I tried replicating the same livery that I have on my semi-truck. And I think it's worked out pretty well. Let's get the semi-truck out for comparison. It's not really one-to-one, it's just the same theme, but there is no real way to copy over all the decals in the right way, so yeah, it's a bit different in the end. One-to-one doesn't really work, so I tried making this as close as I could. But yeah, I may have gotten a few things wrong here and there. It's tough. Getting the right decal, the right rotation, right projection. Some of these things look really, really similar at the first glance. But yeah, here we are. I'm pretty happy with the result. I still have the other one on my other character, so the one with the flames isn't gone. It's just not on this one anymore. But yeah, this thing, happy with the looks. Really happy. I just need to increase the draw distance. That would make showing these things off a bit easier. But anyways, that's gonna be it for me for this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and see you guys next time. Until then, have a good one and bye bye.